Terry didn't tell you is we like to smoke cigars on our ledge. We've got a little ledge. It's called the, I'm in Cannon Hall, and we're on the 5th floor. It's called the Freshman Attic, because it literally used to be an attic. And they converted the rooms over. They're a little bit smaller, not as grandiose, but they have this nice little ledge. You can walk through the window and you're on a ledge, and I've been known to like to smoke a cigar or two. So we get to go smoke cigars on the ledge. Appreciate everybody being here tonight. I mean, what a great group. There's so many great people, friends that I've met through this process here, and I really appreciate you being here. Chairman Short, I appreciate you coming up, and Deputy Chair, I appreciate so much what you guys have done in your leadership for the party and bringing us all back together again. So thank you so much for that. I'd also like Senator Gazelka. Senator Gazelka is actually a mentor of mine. He helped me so much through the process of, because I didn't know anything when I started this. And Senator Gazelka has been so kind in helping me. And Carolyn Patrick, where are you, Carolyn? There she is. She's been a great trooper up there and stomping. I see your signs everywhere. And Sonia, where'd you go, Sonia? You still here? Great seeing you as well. We've got a great team. Moving forward, we just have a fantastic team of true patriots and our warriors. It's a little tough up here sometimes. And we've done a pretty dang good job. But speaking of a group of warriors, there's some little unsung heroes here that really need some recognition this evening, and that is the college Republicans. They're stepping up, and trust me that the environment that they are in every day, it is a constant struggle. So, we're talking tonight, and the college Republicans can take this back one vote at a time, and that's what they're doing. They were at the offices, they're making phone calls, they're trying to infiltrate the college, and not only their fellow students, but I heard there's a couple of professors up there that need to have a talking to. So with them as well. You know, in the U.S. House of Representatives, I believe that I still have the same principles I used in the United States Navy, and I've taken those principles to Washington. And that is protect the country, preserve the Constitution. Those are the two values that I tried to maintain for these last couple of years. Because when I first started running for Congress, I was a stay-at-home PTO dad. I was concerned about our children's education, our children's future. Not much has changed. I'm now concerned about our future. And I'm concerned the future of the next generation of Americans. That also happens to be our children. I'm concerned when I see having the least amount of jobs since 1981 that are available for us to even have. I'm concerned about 4 straight $1 trillion deficits, the highest of any administration that is being placed on the backs of our children. I'm concerned about $16 trillion in debt, the highest it has ever been, that actually led to the downgrading of the credit rating of the United States for the first time in history. And I am extremely concerned about having the largest budget cut ever in our United States military, where we are going to have forces of naval fleet vessels down to 1915, the smallest ground forces since 1940, and the smallest tactical air force ever. That concerns me as an American. In the 8th District of Minnesota, you know, it's if you've been to our 29 town halls or 17 teletown halls, you've heard me say it's timber, taconite, and tourism. Well, hopefully, God willing, very soon, we are going to see precious metals as well. We strongly believe in those principles. We're going to have, hopefully, precious metals. I not only view that as a job resource, 300 to 350 full-time jobs, And UMD did a study where every one mining job is 2.5 ancillary jobs, hundreds and hundreds of construction jobs. But this is also a national strategic asset. We have to have these precious metals. They're in this microphone. They're in your cell phone. They're in your computers. They're in our weaponry. These precious metals we have to have. And we will do it more environmentally friendly. I don't think China really cares that much. And we will have an asset here in the United States just in case those supply shipping lines get shut down. I was a young naval officer in the South China Sea, Ronald Reagan. I was a first-class midshipman in the United States Naval Academy. I was a brigade drill officer. So I was in charge of all the drill at the Naval Academy. And we were able to march in front of that man for the first time, 1981. So I was very, very, very honored to be. I still have the patch that we wore for that parade. What a great president he was. We were part of his Cold War sailors. We sailed the South China Sea. We used to play cat and mouse with the Chinese and the Soviets. And I realized the capabilities of our enemy. We've seen the Chinese rapidly build up their deployment of forces. We've seen an expansion of their military. And we've seen expansion of their blue water fleet. To the point now, we're seeing them be able to bring up their ships to have contest over the islands over Japan. That's a spark just waiting to explode. We're seeing the Japanese bring out their warships. The Chinese are bringing out their warships. Take a look over the Middle East. What's happening over there? I'm on Homeland Security. I can tell you that is just the tip of an iceberg that is ready to blow. And if you're even a small student of history, you realize that anytime the world starts going a bit nuts, it's generally when the United States is perceived to be weak. I want to try to motivate you for 1 second. I want you to step back and say, I didn't win this election last time. The Republicans didn't take the House. What do you think this country would look like today? Think about that for a second. What would this country look like today? Eric Cantor said it best. He said, we are a blocking in the House, we are a blocking minority. They still have the Senate and they still have the presidency. And we are a blocking minority. We've been able to block a lot of stuff to make sure it doesn't get out of the House. And can you imagine what it would be like right now if we had a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, and a Democratic President? What this country would look like. You guys notice welcome. You know what's great about this? The 8th District of Minnesota, when we won, it was the least expensive campaign that won in the country. Last time. Okay, fast forward a couple years. We are now the 4th most expensive campaign in the country. More money has been, this is the 4th most expensive race in the country. In the last week, 2.5 weeks alone, our opposition has spent over $1 million against us. Well, as a Navy pilot, I can tell you this. Flak is heaviest over target, and we are over target. We are fighting hard. They know we've got the right message, and they know that we are definitely making a dent in what they're trying to do. You know, if you just step back for a moment, I took off my congressional pin and I put on this tonight. I can't be more pleased with Paul Ryan being the vice president. No. You know, besides for him being a Packer fan, Paul Ryan has got to be one of the most intelligent guys on the Hill when it comes to budget and spending. I had a great opportunity. I actually work out with Paul Ryan used to anyway. Got a little busy lately. Can't understand why. But every morning we'd be down at the gym at 6:30 in the morning, and we would work out. We'd either do a P90X workout or Insanity. And I'm the second oldest guy there, and I tell you what, I'm keeping up with these guys. But Paul Ryan is extremely fit, and I got to know him through these last year or so. And I can tell you that this guy is passionate in what he believes in. I cannot wait to see the Biden and Ryan debate. because there is nobody on the Hill that knows better than Paul Ryan. And he's got the plan. When Mitt Romney picked him, I said, wow. Mitt Romney actually went up a couple of notches in my book, and I'll tell you why. Mitt Romney could have picked another guy that would have helped him with a segment of the votes. He could have picked another guy that had a shinier name and more name recognition. But what he did was, he picked a guy that has the solution to the problem. He knows how to get it done, he knows how to get it fixed, and he knows how to work across the aisle to make sure it moves forward. So when Mitt Romney picked him, I was really impressed. I said, Paul, how did this all happen? Because just 2 weeks prior at the gym, I said, hey, what about the vice president thing? He said, I'm really not interested. I think I can do much more as a chairman. So I think I'm going to, just stay in the house. I'm very happy. Well, all of a sudden, he got a call one night. And they said, you're going to be picked up in approximately 3 hours. Do not tell anybody where you're going. You'll be going to the Reagan Airport. Wear a disguise. How'd you like that call, huh? I don't have my phone. But anyway, what he said he did was he put on a really old pair of jeans and a really ratty t-shirt. He put his ball cap on, and he walked through the airport reading his BlackBerry like this. Gets on the airplane. He's met by the chief of staff's daughter. They throw him in the back seat of a car and put a blanket over him. And they take him up to wherever Mitt Romney was, and Mitt came out right off the bat. He says, I need you as my vice president. How can you say no? So that's how Paul Ryan got asked to be vice president. So I think he's going to be an exceptional vice president. I think Mitt Romney and the Ryan team is going to be just a powerhouse that's going to change this nation once again and get her back on track to the great American exceptionalism that we truly are. Now, with that all said, we can't do it alone. Everyone that's here tonight are leaders. You're personal leaders. You're involved. You're engaged. Now you got to do something with it. Don't hide your light under a lamp. You're going to have to go out and talk to the folks, and you'll be able to find out. We need, in this district in particular, we need conservative Democrats. In the 8th District of Minnesota, the majority of Democrats are JFK Democrats. They believe in God, guns, and the Constitution. And what we need to do is tap into that and say, talk just about fiscal responsibility. Can anybody, just take a look at the phone, ask them this question. Tell me, if you had to sell your home today, would it be harder or easier than it was 4 years ago? If you lost your job today, how easy do you think it'd be to find another job? Tell me, do you think $16 trillion bears on the back of our children? That's good for you? Do you like that? Do you understand that 46% of our debt is foreign owned? 30% of that is owned by China? The amount of interest that we pay China in 1 week, they can purchase 3 Joint Strike Fighters and put 83 Tomahawk cruise missiles on their ships and their submarines. That's in 1 week. Do you realize that you're financing your children's potential enemy? Make them start thinking about those questions. And see if they're a thinking Democrat. And I much prefer talking to a thinking Democrat. That is, you'll get them. That makes sense. Go with rational, fact-based arguments. And that's how you bring them in. But we have to reach out to our fellow Democrats and see if we can bring them into at least some type of rationale of where this president is going. His budget, you know how many people voted for the president's budget in the Senate? How many for the House? Goose egg 2 years in a row. This president doesn't get it. He doesn't understand. And that's what we have to change. We have to make sure that though the president may have done the best he can do, we know it's not the best America can do. So let's get our Democrats involved. Let's get them going. We've had great legislation, but I got to tell you, I've got a great team. I have a fantastic team, and I just want to point out a couple of people. Marilyn Hagelin, the Iron Maiden of the North. Right next to him, right next door is Scott Martin, and I got to tell you a little, just brag about Scott a little bit, and brag on him. We thought we had a lot of signs last time out. We've way past doubled that an amount of sign coverage. And a lot of people, some of the people that have come from Congress and come to the 8th District, and they come up to the Boundary Waters and visit over here, they say, we cannot believe your sign coverage. And that's because of Scott Martin going around the whole world. Thank everybody coming here tonight. Thank you for what you do. Let's take November 6th and let's get our country back on track. Thank you very much.